Hello, BookTube. Cheers. Long day at work today, but I come home to a surprise. So, my wife let me know that I had this waiting, so I get to think about it all day. It's from Hyde Cottage. I did open it when I got here, and I wanted to share it with you. So it's two books from Steve and Frida Bean, Steve Donoghueish of the channel of the same name. And the first here is Out of the Salt Box, The Savor of Old Vermont, by Ruth M. Racy and illustrated by Kathleen Voot. Hopefully we can do this without too much glare. And there's our author. And it's about Vermont, obviously. And it's Ruth M. Racy Simpson signed it, which is very nice. This is Academy Books, Rutland, Vermont, which is not very far from here. And this came out in 1974. And it's about old Vermont family and an old Vermont house, a salt box in the title. So the salt box house frequently succeeded the log cabin in New England communities. The one on Windy Summit was built by an 18th century settler and remained in the same family for 150 years. Each of the 5 generations who lived there retained basic similarities in daily living, but each also contributed developmental change. I can't speak tonight. Out of the Salt Box reflects its title. For her source material, Ruth Racy has drawn upon the diaries, journals, family papers, and letters that had been preserved for more than a century in her grandfather's desk. More of her background knowledge came from town records and from recollections of old-timers who had helped to establish the local institutions. To all these, she added reminiscences of her own experiences. The resultant book is an authentic, nostalgic reconstruction of rural American life from the 1760s to the 1960s. So right up my alley, which Steve knows very well. Here we go. These little line drawings. I don't know the artist, but I really, really like them. They have that look to them. I'm really looking forward to reading this. It's, like I say, it's right in my bailiwick, and this thing's like it's brand new. I mean, the pages are crisp. This is a wonderful, wonderful thing. So I love this sort of book. So thank you very much, Steve and Frida. And this next one, yeah, he knew the minute he saw it. One of my favorite writers of all time is the historian Samuel Eliot Morison. And I've read most everything I can even think of he's done, even the history of a rope making company, which was fantastic. But By Land and Sea, Essays and Addresses, Samuel Eliot Morison, a selection of the best occasional writers of America's outstanding historian. They reflect the amazing breadth of his interests and the brilliance of his literary style. Alfred A. Knopf, publisher, New York. And look at this. What a beauty. This will go on pride of place in my Samuel Eliot Morison shelf. And I do have a shelf, and I've never had this before. This is a Borzoi book, but they don't really give me a date here that I can see. But the latest copyright I can see on is 1953, so that must be pretty accurate. Unless I think I'm going by a page here. And they give a list of his other books right here at the time. So let me see. There are a few things of his I haven't read, and this is one of the books I've never had before. Let me see if they give a. Oh, here they do. Contents: a prologue to American history. Part 1, Maritime, which I particularly love. This is the Clipper Ships of Massachusetts. Boston Traders to the Hawaiian Islands, 1789 to 1823. Letters on the Harvard Columbus Expedition. Historical Notes of the Gilbert and Marshall Islands. And then part 2 is biographical writings. There's the Young Man Washington, Elbridge Gerry, Gentleman Democrat, Squire Ames and Dr. Ames, John Adams and Thomas Jefferson. And then part 3 is Saints, Scholars, and Sinners. The Pilgrim Fathers, their significance in history. Harvard's past, and the Henry Crillon affair of 1812. And part 4 is history and historians. History as a literary art. Edward Channing, a memoir. History through a beard, and faith of an historian. Then there is an index. So here's some of the letters from the Harvard Columbus expedition. This is just fantastic. This is an amazing, amazing, amazing gift. I just will have so much fun with this. So, yeah, a very, very nice surprise from Hyde Cottage. And thank you very much, Steve. I'm going to go get ready to eat supper here and relax. So cheers to everyone. And thank you, BookTube.